Good morning, friends. We will begin projects. Project is also another form of a window management scheme. Basically, we know there are, if I think you have used code block or you must have used any other IDE. So here we have seen or we are experienced in using projects when a technique that consists of a container. So container is basically, we have learned about containers in object oriented programming. Container is basically a class which contains many objects. So a project window holding a set of objects, similar concept. The objects being held within the project window can be opened in primary windows that are peers within project window. So we have to understand there is a project window, then within that project window, within the objects being held within the project window can be opened in primary windows that are peers with the project window. We have to understand this. Visual containment of the peer windows within the project window is not necessary. Each open peer window must possess its own menu bar and other interface elements. Each open peer window can have its own entry in the taskbar. Each opened peer window can have its own entry in the taskbar. When the project window is closed, all the peer windows of objects also close. That is, when the container gets closes, when the class is closed, or when the class is closed, along with the class, all the children of that particular class, that is objects, will also close. When the project window is opened, the peer windows of the contained objects are restored to their former positions. Peer windows of a project may be restored without the project window itself being restored. Then what is the usage? To manage a set of objects that do not necessarily need to be contained. To manage a set of objects that do not necessarily need to be contained means most of those objects act like independent objects. When child windows are not to be constrained. Then advantages: provides a grouping and focus for a set of activities within the larger environment of the desktop, preserves some management capabilities of the MDI, provides greater flexibility in the placement and arrangement of windows. It has got one disadvantage, that is increased complexity due to difficulty in differentiating peer primary windows of the project from windows of other applications. So one advantage is it increases the complexity because it becomes difficult in differentiating the peer primary windows of the project, because there are many projects are running. So whether this peer primary window belongs to this project or this project, it becomes extremely difficult. So that is one. So the next one is organizing window functions. So how to organize the windows? Information and functions must be presented to people when and where they need. Proper organization and support of tasks by windows will not only be derived through a thorough and clear analysis of user tasks. So the window organization: organize windows to support user tasks. Organize windows to support user tasks. Support the most common tasks in the most efficient sequence of steps. What exactly we are discussing is how exactly you are going to present or represent or how exactly you are going to organize the windows. You always have to consider user tasks. How exactly, from where the user starts, what is the next task he is going to do, what is the next task, so that is how you are going to present the windows to him. So that is sequence of steps. Use primary windows to begin an interaction and provide a top level context for dependent windows, perform a major interaction. Use secondary windows to extend the interaction. First one is mainly in the first you are going to begin with the primary windows. Then Then if you want to extend your interaction, then you can use it through the secondary windows. Obtain or display supplemental information related to the primary window using secondary window. Use dialog boxes, that is, if basically dialog boxes are used for displaying some infrequently used information. Then nice to know information means that is a extra information. If you know this, then that is nice. I mean, it is not essential or compulsory to know this. People most often think in terms of tasks, not functions or applications. Being a developer, we also always think in users perspective, not our own perspective. Okay, emphasis. So Mahavi Mehiv suggests that poor functional organization usually occurs because of one or combination of these factors. The first one is emphasis on technical ease of implementation. Emphasis on technical ease of implementation rather than proper analysis of the user tasks. So Mehiv, okay, he suggested that poor organization happens because of these following factors. The first one is basically the developers are giving more emphasis on the technical ease of implementation. So they are running away from the difficulty. They are trying to, okay, develop with a, okay, I mean, they are basically giving importance to less technically competitive, okay, implementation, or then proper analysis of users. So very less emphasis is being given to the users. Focus on applications, features, functions or data types instead of user tasks. So majorly the developing team is focusing on applications, features, functions or data types rather than what exactly the user wants. Organization of the design team into applications with little cross team communication. So here, okay, even though many teams are involved in development, but there is very less or frequent communication happening between those teams. So no one knows what is exactly happening in other teams. Okay, blindly mimicking the manual word and carrying over manual inefficiencies to the computer system. So number of windows, basically we should try to minimize the number of windows needed to accomplish an objective. So we have to make user, I mean, we have to provide some comfort to the user. We should not ask him to use more number of windows to finish his task. Okay, a person does not work with windows simply for the joy of working with windows. So we have to remember his time is very, very precious. Windows are a means to an end, okay, a method for accomplish something. So we should not just go on pushing, showing unnecessarily, okay, asking him to fill many information or running through many forms, okay, or running through many windows. Okay, so ultimately we should try to minimize the number of windows used to accomplish an objective. Okay, use a single window whenever possible. Okay, consider however the user's task. Don't clutter up a single window with rarely used information when it can be placed on a second or infrequently used window. Since it is good to use a single window, but however we have to take enough precautions not to fill up or not to simply go on filling everything in a single window. Okay, if necessary you can use the secondary windows. Okay, so in the next video we will start with the window operations. Thank you.